There is an exact hour on the clock that separates the chosen from the rest of humanity. 4 in the morning. It is not 3:30. It is not 5. It is precisely 4 o'clock. And if you are here now, it is because it has already happened to you. You have already woken up at this time for no apparent reason, with your heart beating in a different way, with the palm of your right hand tingling, heating up, pulsing as if something were being drawn there by invisible fingers that you could not see. Perhaps you got up, went to the bathroom mirror, looked at your own hand and saw lines that you swore were not there the day before. Perhaps you felt a strange heat traveling from the center of your palm to your wrist, as if something had been deposited inside you. And perhaps you tried to explain this to someone, and that person said it was poor circulation, that it was your sleeping position, that it was stress. But you knew it wasn't. In the depths of your soul, you always knew it wasn't. I'm going to tell you a truth now that many people tried to bury in ancient texts. There is a seal, a real spiritual seal that God imprints on the palm of the hand of those he chose even before the foundation of the world. And this seal is placed exactly at 4 o'clock in the morning, in that hour that the ancients called the watchman's hour, the holy hour, the hour of the awakening of the righteous. It is no coincidence that so many wake up at this time. It is no coincidence that you are here now, listening to these words as if each one were confirming what your intuition has been screaming for months, for years. The prophet Elias saw this scene. He described men dressed in linen passing through the houses of Kingsport and marking with ink the foreheads of those who belonged to the Lord, separating them before judgment fell upon the city. The apostle Silas saw this same scene in the book of Visions when he described the seal of the living God being imprinted on the hand and forehead of the servants of the Most High before the winds of destruction were released upon the earth. And what these two prophets saw was not poetic metaphor. It was a literal description of an event that continues to happen now, at this very moment. In your home, in your room, on your right hand. Have you ever felt that something inside you doesn't fit into this world, as if your soul knew a truth that your mind cannot yet name? It is not madness. It is not anxiety. It is not an existential crisis. It is a sign. And what is happening now on the cosmic plane explains exactly why you wake up at this exact hour and why this tingling in your hand has intensified in recent times. There is a game being played in layers that most of humanity cannot see. A game that involves your protection, your family, your entire lineage, and the role you were designated to fulfill in this spiritual transition that has already begun. Think, what if everything you have always felt, this mysterious awakening, this silent mark, this certainty that there is something greater, was exactly the proof that you are not an observer of this story, but a central piece of it? That is why I prepared this powerful digital book for you, the Manual of the Chosen Ones of God to Protect the Family. This book is not just reading, it is a map that shows who is being sealed at this moment, what the rules of this divine marker are that they never told you, the exact meaning of the lines that appear on your hand, and what the ancient prophets and mystics have already revealed about this mark that appears exactly at 4 in the morning on the palm of your hand. This digital book was created for those who have already awakened enough to know that this tingling, this heat, this sensation in the palm is not a matter of circulation. It is divine. It is a mark of belonging, and you are ready to go beyond the shallow answers that the world offers about spiritual phenomena. The link is pinned at the top of the comments. But I must warn you, this type of content rarely remains available for long. What is in these pages challenges narratives that many have an interest in keeping intact, and there have already been attempts to silence this knowledge about the seal. Do not wait for the right moment. The right moment is now, chosen one, because you did not arrive at this video by accident. Download it now and comment below, I am chosen, and I will download the digital book. Now that you have made this decision to act, the next truth I am going to reveal to you about this seal will be the final blow against any force trying to tear this mark from your hand. This seal does not appear the same on everyone. In some chosen ones, it manifests as a luminous point in the center of the palm, an almost imperceptible mark that only becomes visible when you look from the side, against the light, or in moments of deep prayer. In others, it appears as 3 thin lines that form a perfect triangle, or as a faint cross drawn in the center of the hand. There are those who perceive it as an invisible scar, a different texture on the skin that others cannot see, but that you feel when you run the finger of your other hand over it. And there are those who receive the seal only as a sensation, the heat, the tingling, the pulsation that always appears at the same time, in the same place, with the same intensity. The reason the seal is placed on the right hand has a very profound meaning that few pastors explain. The right hand, throughout the entire scriptures, is the hand of authority. It is the hand of blessing. It is the hand of the execution of divine purpose. When Elder Harrison blessed the sons of Arthur, he crossed his arms to place his right hand on the youngest. When the Prince of Peace sat down, it was at the right hand of the Father. When God marks your right hand, he is telling you, by this hand I will do things. By this hand I will protect this house. By this hand I will bless whomever you touch. By this hand I will defeat the invisible enemies that tried to enter through your family. It is not a decorative mark. It is a functional mark. It is a stamp of spiritual ownership that says to the entire invisible realm, this person is mine. And here comes something that needs to be very clear, because it is where most of the chosen ones get lost. When you are sealed, the entire invisible world knows. The angels know. The entities of light recognize the seal, and the opposing forces see it too. This is exactly why many chosen ones report that, after they started waking up at 4 in the morning, temptations increased, family arguments became more frequent, people began to drift away for no apparent reason, financial problems arose out of nowhere, and disturbing dreams began to invade their nights. This is not a coincidence, this is a reaction. The kingdom of darkness is reacting to the fact that you have been marked by God, and this reaction is the greatest confirmation that the seal is real. Those who have no seal are not persecuted. Those who have no light do not attract darkness. If you are being attacked, it is because you are light. But listen carefully, because this part is crucial. Having the seal is not enough. The seal is the starting point, not the destination. There are spiritual rules about how to honor this mark, how to keep it active, how to prevent it from being erased by the wrong choices that many chosen ones make without realizing it. There are behaviors that strengthen the seal, and there are others that try to dissolve it. And worse, there are entities specialized in attacking specifically those who receive this mark because the seal on the right hand is also a target. Those who have no mark do not interest the enemy. Those who have the mark become a priority on the list, and you need to know this so you are not caught off guard. It was thinking exactly of those who reached this point that I wrote the digital book manual of the chosen ones of God to protect the family. This is not a generic self-help book. It is a technical, spiritual, practical manual that specifically teaches how to recognize your seal, how to differentiate the true seal from false marks, how to honor this mark daily, and how to protect your home and your family from attacks that increase precisely because you were chosen. This digital book shows the sensitive spiritual times and why 4 in the morning is just one of them, the specific prayers that activate the seal, and the mistakes many chosen ones make that weaken the mark without them noticing. This digital book reveals what pastors do not speak from the pulpit because it involves deep knowledge of spiritual warfare that few master. The link is at the top of the comments, pinned, waiting for you. This content has been the target of removal attempts before because what is in it dismantles narratives that interest the opposing kingdom. Do not leave it for later. Do now what your soul is asking. Download the digital book now, and before you continue watching, comment below the phrase, "I am chosen, and I will download the digital book." This simple act is already a spiritual declaration. It is already a yes that heaven records. And now that you have made this declaration, I can tell you the part that will leave your mouth hanging open, because what comes now is the explanation of why this seal is appearing just in this generation, just in this year, just now. This seal is not appearing randomly. It is appearing at a specific moment in the spiritual history of humanity. The ancient prophets spoke of a time when God would mark his chosen ones before the beginning of a great tribulation. They spoke of a time when the mark would be placed on the hand and forehead of those who belonged to him, exactly to differentiate them from those who would serve the beast. I am not here to scare you. I am here to inform you. We are living in that time. You are being sealed now because the time of protection has begun. Those who are not sealed in this period remain vulnerable to things that most cannot even imagine. And those who are sealed receive a supernatural covering that protects not only themselves, but the entire house where they sleep. When you were sealed, your house automatically received a perimeter of protection. Angels begin to make rounds around the walls of your house. Entities that previously entered freely now encounter an invisible wall they cannot cross. People who came only to suck your energy begin to feel discomfort in your presence and move away. This is the most beautiful side effect of the seal. It filters what can and what cannot come near you. If you notice in recent months, you will realize that some people vanished from your life without explanation. It was not their absence. It was the seal working. It was cleaning your field. But the seal also has conditions. It is given by grace, but it is maintained by choices. The first choice is recognition. To deny the seal is to erase it. Those who receive the mark and try to convince themselves that it is just an impression begin to lose the intensity of the mark. That is why this video is so important. That is why this moment in which you are listening is so important. This recognition that is happening inside you now is exactly what keeps the seal active. You are validating what heaven has already stamped. You are saying yes to what God has already decided. The second condition is strategic silence. The seal must be guarded. You are not to go around telling everyone. You are not to expose your hand to curious eyes. The ancients knew that sacred knowledge is preserved in secret. When you expose the seal to eyes that are not ready to understand, you invite discussion, doubt, and attacks from people who cannot see and who will try to convince you that you are imagining it. And every time someone plants a doubt in your mind about the seal, the mark weakens a bit. Therefore, share this video only with those you know will understand, and keep the seal within you, like a treasure hidden in a field. The third condition is use. The seal is given to be used, to be exercised, to be activated in prayer, in blessing, in protection of your family. When you raise your right hand to bless your children before they leave the house, the seal activates. When you place your right hand over your spouse while he or she sleeps and pray silently for that person's life, the seal activates. When you touch the wall of your house and declare that this house belongs to the Lord, the seal activates. The seal is not a passive ornament. It is a powerful tool that God placed in your palm, and the more you use it, the stronger it gets. But there is a fourth condition that few know, and it is precisely this one that will make the difference between chosen ones who prosper and chosen ones who remain stagnant in their own blessing. It is knowledge. You need to know the rules of this spiritual game. You need to know which are the sensitive times, which are the words that activate, which are the postures that weaken, which are the invisible alliances that need to be broken so that the seal operates at full capacity. Without this knowledge, you are a chosen one with a tool in your hands and no manual. And a tool without a manual is a waste of power. It was for this reason, exactly this, that I wrote the digital book manual of the chosen ones of God to protect the family. This digital book is the manual that was missing from your hand. It details each of the steps. How to identify the seal on your right palm with certainty, what the variations of the mark are, and what each variation means, the specific times when the seal operates with greatest power, the prayers that activate the seal in situations of danger, the blessings that multiply protection over your house, and especially how to pass on the covering of your seal to each member of your family. Imagine being able to place your hand on your child's head and knowing exactly which words activate the shield. Imagine running your hand over your door before sleeping and knowing that gesture activated real protection. This is what the digital book teaches you. The link is pinned at the top of the comments. It is the first one that appears. You cannot miss it. But you need to be fast. Content like this has been taken down before. People with an interest in keeping the chosen ignorant of their own power have already tried to silence this knowledge. That is why it is available. But perhaps it will not stay for long. Do not delay. Download it now. And confirm in the comments, I am chosen and I will download the digital book. This comment is your commitment. It is your act of faith. It is your response to the call. And now that you have positioned yourself, I am going to give you the densest part of this revelation. Because there is still information about this seal that will change the way you see the next months of your life. There is a gigantic difference between being called and being chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen. Those who are called hear the voice but may not respond. Those who are chosen receive the mark. The call is an invitation. The seal is confirmation. And when you are sealed, you are not just invited to participate, you were selected to lead. You are one of the chosen to be a point of light in your family, in your neighborhood of Silver Creek, in your work, in your lineage. You are what the ancients called a seal bearer. And seal bearers carry a responsibility that goes far beyond themselves. Lineage. This is a topic that few people deal with, but that needs to be said here. When you are sealed, your lineage also receives the effects. Your parents, your children, your grandchildren, even if they are not directly sealed, receive reflex benefits from your seal. It is as if your mark covered those close to you with a shadow of blessing. This does not mean they are saved by your seal. Each has their own path. But it means that as long as you are alive and sealed, your family lives under a mantle of extra protection. And that is why the opposing kingdom attacks the bearer so much. Because taking you out of the way means taking the covering off many people. Have you ever felt heavy, tired, as if you carried problems that are not yours? Have you seen yourself absorbing the suffering of others without understanding why? This also has to do with the seal. Seal bearers absorb pain to intercede. It is a spiritual characteristic of the chosen. You feel the pain of others because you were assigned to pray for them, and often, without knowing it, you intercede in the spiritual plane for people who don't even say thank you. This tiredness is not just physical, it is spiritual discharge. And the seal gives you tools to process this in a healthy way. There is also the matter of dreams. When the seal is placed on your hand, your dream life changes. Dreams become more vivid, more symbolic, more prophetic. You begin to dream of people before they appear in your life. You begin to dream of events before they manifest. You wake up remembering complex scenarios, detailed conversations, clear messages. This is the seal opening the channel of heaven into your sleep. Dreams become divine correspondence, and not every dream comes from heaven. Some come from the opposing kingdom, trying to confuse the bearer. That is why learning to discern dreams is an essential part of the training for those who are sealed. And intuition. Has your perception become finer in recent months? Did you start knowing things about people without anyone telling you? Did you look at someone and immediately feel if they were trustworthy or not? Did you enter a place and feel on your skin if there was a good or heavy presence there? This is another effect of the seal. It activates spiritual discernment. You begin to operate with an internal radar that is much more precise than the physical senses. And this radar is one of the greatest protections the bearer has. Trust it. When the radar warns, it is the seal speaking. Now I am going to give you one of the most important parts of this video: how to identify with absolute certainty if the seal is really on your hand. There is a simple practice you can do even today. When it is close to 4 in the morning, or if you wake up at that time spontaneously, do the following. Raise your right hand in front of your face with the palm facing you. Take 3 deep breaths. Speak in a low but firm voice. Lord, if this mark came from Thee, manifest it now to my eyes. And observe, not with haste, not with anxiety. Just observe your palm. In a few seconds or minutes you will begin to perceive something. It could be a slight glow, it could be a line that stands out, it could be a sensation of heat concentrated in a specific point. This is the seal revealing itself to the eye of the bearer, and this revelation is one of the most intimate experiences a chosen one can have with God. After the seal manifests, close your right hand forming a light fist. This gesture seals the revelation. Then open it again and pray for your family, name by name. Each name you pronounce while the palm is open receives a portion of the covering. This is the practical use of the seal. This is the daily exercise of the chosen. And when you do this for 7 consecutive days, at the same time you will begin to notice concrete changes in the atmosphere of your house, in the disposition of your children, in the harmony between the people who live with you. The seal works. It is not theory. It is experience. There are also the attacks that come after the seal. I need to warn you so you are prepared. People will start calling you exaggerated, a fanatic, hot-headed. Family members will start to doubt you openly. Old friends will distance themselves. This is normal. This is part of the spiritual filter that the seal automatically creates. Do not be upset. Do not try to convince anyone. Just move forward. Those who need to stay close will stay. Those who need to go will go. And you will find yourself in a short time surrounded only by people who add value, who understand, who walk together. This is relational purification. It is one of the gifts of the seal. Another important thing, the seal opens the heavens financially as well, but not in the way the world preaches. It is not easy prosperity. It is aligned prosperity. The seal blocks paths that would harm you and opens paths that will edify you. This is why many bearers report having lost apparently good opportunities, only to discover later that those opportunities were traps. The seal is a guard. The seal is redirection. When something closes for you in an inexplicable way, remember, the seal is acting. When something opens in a surprising way, remember, the seal is leading. Trust the movement, the hours. I told you about 4 in the morning, but there are other spiritually sensitive times that the bearer needs to know. 3 in the afternoon, the 9th hour, is the hour of intercession. Midnight is the hour of the rising. 6 in the morning is the hour of awakening. Each hour has a function. Each hour opens a different portal, and the seal bearer learns to use these hours strategically. In the digital book, there is an entire chapter just about this, with the hours listed, the specific prayers for each one, and the practical recommendations to activate the seal at the right moments. And here we reach the final point of this video, the final call I need to make to you. If you have come this far, listened to every word, felt every confirmation, and realized that what I described about the seal at 4 in the morning is exactly what has been happening to you, then there is no longer any doubt. You are chosen. There is no way to deny it anymore. The signs are aligned. The awakening at this exact hour, the tingling, the heat in the palm, the increased sensitivity, the vivid dreams, people drifting away, the coincidences that were not coincidences. Everything points in the same direction. You have been marked. You are a bearer. And now you have a decision to make. Continue fumbling in the dark, or take the map that was written precisely for those who have reached this level. The digital book manual of the chosen ones of God to protect the family is waiting for you at the top of the comments. It is the first pinned link. You cannot miss it. This digital book was written with the specific intention of serving as a tool for those who are exactly where you are now, knowing they are chosen, but needing the practical rules to activate the seal, protect the family, and exercise the call at full capacity. This material is accessible now, but I cannot guarantee you it will be tomorrow. Content of this level, which speaks openly about the seal, about real spiritual protection, about the invisible rules of the kingdom, has already been the target of removal attempts on other platforms. There is an interest in keeping the seal bearer ignorant of their own power. There is an interest in making the chosen one doubt their own call. Do not give space for that. Act now. Click the link. Download the digital book. Read it with the Bible by your side. Apply the exercises. And come back here to comment. I am chosen and I will download the digital book. This comment is not just a formality. It is a spiritual act. It is your response to the call. It is your declaration that you will not ignore what you received. It is your yes to heaven. And remember, the seal on your right hand was not your choice. It was God's choice. You did not earn it. You were marked by grace before the foundation of the world. But from now on, what you do with this mark is your responsibility. You can honor it and see your life transformed, or you can ignore it and continue living half of what you were destined to live. Heaven's choice has already been made. Your response is what is missing. Tomorrow, when you wake up at 4 in the morning, raise your right hand, look at it. Recognize the seal, give thanks, and pray for your house. This is the gesture that separates those who understood from those who only heard. This is the gesture that activates everything that was spoken here. You are chosen. You are sealed. You are a bearer. And now you know what that means. Go with God, and do not forget the digital book is waiting for you. Download it today, comment today, act today, because the right moment is now.